welcome to the More Free Time Portland podcast. Do you feel like there's just not enough time in your day? Overwhelmed with all the responsibilities of life? This podcast was designed to give you practical tools and resources to not only get more free time, but to help you thrive as a mom, wife, and busy professional and help you win back your day. If you're receiving tons of value from this podcast, subscribe, rate, and review so that we can help more people like you. Now, on to the show with me, your host, Ashley Whaley. Hello, how are you guys? I am so pumped to be here, and I am just having so much fun with this podcast, and I really hope that you guys are finding some helpful tips and tricks along the way and just figuring out what's going to work best for you and your family to really help free up some of that time that we spend thinking about routines and systems and cleaning and chores and all of the things that come along with being an adult, right? And then when you add in kids to the mix, there's just always something to do. And so I'm really just, my biggest heart's desire is that some of these tips and tricks along the way are simple enough for you to implement and just start getting some of that time back into your life. So today we are going to be talking all things bedding and the importance of getting your bedding on a routine. So I have a confession. For the longest time, I did not have our bedding on a routine. We would basically just wash it whenever we felt like it, and my husband was typically the one that did it. He's, ever since we started dating, he has always washed his bedding a lot. And so coming into our relationship, to be honest, didn't wash bedding nearly as often as I should. And after doing some research here, and which I'm going to share with you a little bit later, just the importance of having fresh sheets is more than just a cleanliness. There's a lot of health benefits to having fresh bedding. So once we established a routine for our bedding, it has been a game changer. So we have our master bed, and then we have our children who have bunk beds. And so what we've done is we have made Sunday our day to wash bedding. So we're washing our bedding every week. In the research that I found, most Americans wash their bedding every other week, but from a health standpoint, it's ideal to wash your bedding every week. And if you don't have an extra set of sheets, if the reason why you're not washing your bedding all the time is because of the time factor, well, they recommend from this research that I found on healthline.com, they recommend and it's a simple tip, but just buy an extra set of sheets. It will save you some time, and that way, if you don't have time to actually wash and wait for it to wash and dry and all the things that come along with washing bedding, if you've got an extra set of sheets, you can just use those and then wash your other bedding that you take off at a later time if time is a factor for you. But once we established that Sunday is the day of the week that we wash our bedding, it just created so much more peace in our home around laundry. So, and I don't consider bedding necessarily laundry. I mean, we're laundering the bedding, but I consider it something totally separate because we do our actual clothes laundry on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And so Sundays are meant for bedding. So if you guys do not have a system in place for your bedding, I would just highly encourage you to pick a day of the week that works for you and put it on the schedule. Because once it's on the schedule, it's there. Once you start doing it every Sunday, it just becomes part of your groove, and it all works out. So, and then my rule of thumb is anytime we have a guest that comes over, I always wash the bedding after they stay. So that way I know when we have a guest that shows up, we've got, the bedding on the spare bed is fresh and ready to go. It's not dirty. And again, it's just keeping things safe and healthy. And honestly, it's just gross if you're not changing the sheets in between guests. That's kind of gross. But hey, do you. If you don't have time to do it, I guess it is what it is, right? So you can also ask your cleaning company to change your bedding. That's something that we do for a number of our clients, is we will actually change out their bedding. They'll have fresh sheets for us when we arrive, and then we'll take off the old sheets, put the new sheets on, and we've just incorporated that into some of our cleanings for people that want that. So that's something to think about as well if you just don't want to do it, because it does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of time to get the bedding changed and washed. So I just wanted to provide a little bit of fun facts for you. So I found this on healthline.com, and I think I'm going to share this link on my LinkedIn profile so you can kind of dive into the full-on details. But it says, according to a 2012 poll by the National Sleep Foundation, 91% of people change their sheets every other week. Although this is a common rule of thumb, many experts recommend weekly washings. And so this is because your sheets can accumulate a lot of stuff you can't see. Thousands of dead skin cells, which is really yummy, dust mites, and even fecal matter if you're sleeping naked. So for those of you that sleep naked, you need to be washing your sheets more frequently than you think. So factors that warrant more frequent washing. So you should wash your sheets more often if you have allergies or asthma and are sensitive to dust. You have an infection or lesion that makes contact with your sheets or pillows. You sweat excessively. Your pets sleep in your bed. You eat in bed. You go to bed without showering, and you sleep naked. So if those apply to any of you, then you should definitely be washing those sheets at least once a week, if not more, because it's just, you spend so much time in your bed. Typically the average person is getting about 8 hours of sleep, and you think about, other areas that you're in throughout the day, you spend the majority of your time in one setting in your bed. So if you're experiencing, any health challenges, or if you're finding that maybe you're getting sick more often, or having more allergy attacks, maybe it's because you need to wash your bedding. So there's a little tip for you there. And then it says it's recommended that you wash your sheets and your bedding in hot water, of course, and you want to make sure that it's at the hottest setting recommended. So don't throw your sheets in the wash and put them on cold. That's a huge no-no. Make sure you're washing them in hot water. And in order to help keep your sheets clean between washings, here are some tips for you that you can do to help reduce those extra germs and bacteria. So they say you can keep your sheets clean between washing and help preserve them by showering before bed, avoiding naps after a sweaty gym session. So don't jump into bed after you've just had a sweaty gym session. Can you say that 10 times fast? Sweaty gym session. Remove your makeup before you go to sleep. Avoid putting on lotions, creams, or oils, which I thought that was an interesting tip, because I think that that's pretty common, especially for us ladies, is to, lotion up after you get out of the shower before you crawl into bed. No eating or drinking in bed. Oh, this was another one I used to be totally guilty of before I met my husband, and he just put the kibosh on that. It totally freaks him out if you're eating snacks in bed. So you could avoid that. And keeping your pets off your sheets, which I know is sometimes harder or sometimes easier said than done, because especially, our furry friends, they always want to get snuggly. And removing any debris and dirt from your feet, especially in the summer. Oh my goodness, we walk around barefoot all the time and then crawling into bed with dirty feet. That's a big no-no. So pillows should be replaced every year or two, and using a pillow protector can help keep dust and bacteria to a minimum. So a pillow protector is something you put on over your pillow before you actually put the pillow sham on. So those are pretty handy. And then I thought this was a pretty cool fact for those of us that have duvets. So duvets, as long as you are washing the cover weekly and then having it dry cleaned regularly, the actual duvet itself, duvets can last for 15 to 20 years. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I think the bottom line here is that a little diligence when it comes to caring for your bedding can go a long way when it comes to helping you sleep, breathe, and just overall just stay healthier. So while it may seem like a hassle at times, changing your sheets weekly is well worth the effort. So bottom line here is just put a system in place and wash all of the bedding that's being used weekly. So pick a day. You can use our day, which is Sunday, and just put it in the schedule, make it happen, and you will definitely reap all of the benefits that fresh bedding brings. So stay clean, stay healthy. I hope this was helpful for you, and until next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. If you found value in this podcast, we'd love it if you would subscribe, rate, and review. And please share it with a friend. We love making friends, so let's please connect on social. You can find me on Instagram at Ashley T. Whaley or our cleaning company at More Free Time Cleaning. Until next time, bye guys.